Okay, so this is very much what not to do when trying to rush Imperial Age with the Ottomans and get that Seagate Castle up in their base. This is a time it went wrong. I'll speed up the beginning as usual. For context, this player is very highly ranked. So this also kind of comes into that question of perhaps being a little bit more cautious when you're playing somebody that you know from their ranking is quite good. So start's fine, you know, absolutely fine. I'm doing what I normally do, reasonable numbers on each thing. Start with 2 on gold, couple of, 1 on wood, and then build that up, build that up, build that up. Go straight to stone. On this map, you need to use fish rather than berries, but other than that, absolutely standard. Start putting towers up quite nice and early, which I think is probably a good thing. Getting the military schools up 7 minutes in, again a little bit late for that. They do try a little bit of raiding, but not, you know, their heart's not super in it. As soon as I kind of retreat and show that I'm not going to let them do it too easily, they're just about in range of the town centre. This is the importance of placing your key buildings in range of the town centre, right? So it is just about in range of the town centre, meaning that they're going to be losing cavalry if they do try that. I then am very defensive and go Imperial Army right next. I don't normally do that because it obviously blocks space for farms, but I'm just aware that they are a good player and they're raiding quite well. Well, they could potentially be raiding quite well, so I'm a little bit defensive in that. Get the military buildings quite quickly. I just go to income per minute. I'm doing pretty well income per minute wise. So yes, this is very much learn from my mistakes kind of video. I do try and I've done exactly what I've done now before, and it's really done very well, and I've won the game numerous times actually, and this is almost kind of exactly how I suggest to play this kind of game. I've done some fiddling with, but sorry to finish that. But the point of this is, you don't want to overdo it with the level of aggression. You don't want to overdo it with the level of aggression. So you need to be a bit kind of careful and cautious, and balance that level of kind of aggressive placement. I really want to get these villages. I do send a force to try and do that, but again, because they're quite on it, this player, they I think they pick up on it pretty quickly. I don't know why I've sent a load of pikemen. That wasn't really the plan. They're not even there anyway. They kind of... Oh. Did I just go to the wrong place? Oh my god. That's idiotic. Oh, that's completely my fault. I just went to the wrong mill. I just clicked up and thought that was the mill that they were going for. Turns out not so much. Oh, that was terrible. Alright, yeah. Well, that was an error as well. I thought that I'd seen a load of people. Or did they move? No, I think it was that mill that I'd looked at. Oh, that was moronic. Whatever. So another thing I did wrong. They start raiding again, not like super aggressively, but a little bit. 16 minutes in now. My base isn't very nicely laid out, to be honest. That actually annoys me in this game. Kind of the OCD showing through. I don't like how my base is laid out. It's probably laid out fairly well defensively, because I've got a couple of outposts. I'll put another outpost up over here in a minute. But yeah, the OCD was problematic, because it's just kind of higgledy-piggledy everywhere. Ugh. Yes, so anyway, 18 minutes in, normally have a reasonable force this time, a little bit slow maybe in creating that force. They're doing better at me at food. I start to try and dominate the map a little bit through putting mines up everywhere. Nothing as yet, you know, was a super error. Obviously this farming is absurd and really annoying, and also you can put villagers on farms so they farm each one, and I'm just kind of panicking, so I'm not panicking, but I do it too quickly, so I don't think to do that. I've also put the setting on so it doesn't skip straight to the individual villager that's idle, and I'm going to turn that off because it's actually really useful to be able to kind of go straight to the villager, because otherwise you're putting them on. That's an exact example. I'm putting them on something over here where they're over here. That's just silly. So I'm going to turn that off for the next game. It's one of the settings you can put on where it doesn't switch. The camera doesn't switch straight to the individual that you're referring to. 23 minutes in now. Got something of a force together. But I'm starting to kind of lose the battle, probably because my farms are just stupid. I start to make a little bit more of a sensible farm place over here. Slightly more sensible. Put some walls up as well. So I'm still not obviously doing anything like foundationally wrong, although obviously the base itself looks like a mess. But this is, 23 minutes. If I've not gone by now in terms of kind of going with a decent army, then that's slightly problematic. They've now reached Imperial Age, right? So I need to be aware that there's going to be potentially a defensive settlement somewhere, because it's not appeared on my minimap such that they're not using it in an aggressive way. I then collect a load of villagers. Done that a load of times before, and this is normal. I also use the scout to give myself a bit more line of sight, which can help a little bit, you know, at the margins. A couple of villagers come into some gilded horsemen, so I'm wondering if they see the army now. They don't see the extent of it, it doesn't look like. They don't see that this is a major attack. And so this is really the point of the video, so I think I won't speed it up for a moment. I'll just show you what so this is what I'm seeing. I don't know that there's a force there. My plan was actually to kind of go round, but it didn't really work. And then I'll slow it down. Okay, so I go, you know what? I'm going to be really aggressive this game. I'm going to take out all these villagers on gold. I'm going to split off. This is again where the recordings don't show you what the actual gameplay did show you. I could see that they had a town centre here. I could see that. And for some reason in the recording I can't see it, but I could see it, that there was a town centre there. So what I do really, really aggressively is look to divide the two and just build a Seagate castle, which is pretty powerful, between the two. And I think, you know what, let's go for it. I try and take on this landmark a little bit. It's slightly arrogant of me. Let's see what's happening. So they have dealt with that little force. Obviously an error there. That was an obvious error. So that was I think that was a major error. I should have just gone straight round with the whole force if I'm going to do this. Yes, it kind of delayed them a little bit getting, which, you know, that might have been a good thing. Delayed them a bit in getting to the location, but yeah, I really don't know. I think it was an error. I think I should have massed my forces here. In previous games, what I've done is come around the side. When I've done it really well, for example, I've come around the side like here, started attacking their villagers. They've massed a massive force and gone over to kind of defend their villages, and then I've attacked over here. That would be the ideal scenario in this case, obviously. I see that they're coming through now and laying down some serious fire, so I need to deal with that. It becomes apparent pretty quickly that I haven't brought the forces, or that I've split the forces up, making them, you know, nothing like enough to deal with the kind of attack that I want to do, especially as, remember that this is a good player, he's not messing around, so can't really do much at this point. I think what I remember doing is getting some reinforcements going, but that's somewhat belated. So actually it's not too bad on this at the moment, on the resources collection at the moment. This is how bad the springboards are though. I was saying that before. I really think they should edit that, they should alter that. The springboards should be better against mangonels, and they should be worse against infantry. Or if they are really good against infantry, they should be slightly more expensive or something. I don't think they've got that quite right. At the moment, I'm obviously being a bit slow putting the villagers in, garrisoning these villages. It's because I'm getting reinforcements. I'm rubbish at doing lots of things at once. There you go, so I've garrisoned some villages. I don't know if you can like choose who gets garrisoned. It seems to be very random. And also when you ungarrison, this might just be me, but I don't know how to ungarrison in a particular place. Wow, that was a cool explosion. So I always end up ungarrisoning, and including with the king. I've seen people ungarrison the king in a particular location, such that the armies, the aggressive armies coming this way, and the king ungarrison, you know, gets out of the castle here and then runs off. I don't actually know how to do that. I need to look that up. That's quite useful, I think. So, yeah, I've been way too aggressive here, obviously. I can't defend this location. It would be fine if I had a more serious force and perhaps 1 or 2 siege equipment to go after this. I do put some, like, reinforcements are coming, and then I've got, I think in a minute I create some siege engines to kind of come around the back to put some pressure on at the same time, as in, like all my other games, I've tried to attack from at least 2 places at once, which does help. My vague idea here is to just kind of semi-sacrifice these villagers to do a bit of repairing this. It's too aggressive, really, isn't it? It's just too aggressive. Looking back, what should I have done? Maybe if I was going to do that, maybe try it here. Maybe try it here, and then kind of consolidate down here. I don't know. I mean, it's doing okay, but as soon as they get any siege equipment, what do I do? As soon as they get any proper siege equipment, and they're in Imperial. They haven't been Imperial for that long, but they're still in Imperial, so they can get, well, I presume they can get bombards, Colvins. Yeah, obviously the villager idea was a bad one. That doesn't work at all. Reinforcements come through, but obviously they're getting shot up because it's way too close to their Elsbach Palace. So, yeah, I mean, yes, I'm able to, and this is what I mean about where they're coming out of the castle. It's so super important that I destroy these battering rams, so I obviously do that, including sacrificing a load of villagers. I then go back in, repair a little bit, and go back in. This is about half health now. Yes, it's doing some damage, but look, they've already got trebuchets up. But yeah, it's done. And I've lost a load of villagers doing that as well. This is the real, like, it's a risk. Rushing and aggressively placing Seagate Castle is a risk. These have got no chance now. Now I'm on the back foot. Absolutely on the back foot. And I'm very much aware of it. So these are the battering rams that I wanted to come in a little bit earlier, such that it would be annoying them whilst they're trying to deal with the Seagate Castle. I'm creating another load of Janissaries, obviously. I realise I haven't got enough. I need to, firstly I need to upgrade, I always forget what it's called. Is it called Alchemy? Gunpowder. I need to upgrade the gunpowder for the Janissaries. And then I need to also upgrade melee units. I then also realised I should put up some more barracks around here. These are some archery ranges, I think. In a minute I put up some more barracks. I noticed this little lot as well, and I try and go after them. I'm not quite sure how this doesn't work either. I definitely try and go after them. Speed it up, look here. This is just kind of calamity after calamity, not doing exactly what I wanted to do. And what was that? So they've shooting me with a trebuchet. Interesting. Look out! Is that them quickly? Them noticing? Yeah, it is. They are quite quick. I guess they were looking over here anyway to see the battering rams messing around. Yeah. Obviously the battering rams now are kind of pointless. That doesn't work. They've removed the villagers, so that doesn't work. I then try and retreat with the small number of units that I have, realising that, look, I've got basically no one. They're quite important, but I don't just randomly lose them for no reason. I haven't yet swapped to either of the more kind of powerful cannon units on the Imperial Armory, which is again a slight error. So they're able to put pressure on the retreat. And at this point I'm struggling. Blacksmith I need to upgrade to Damascus Steel and Master Smith et al. And obviously also I've got too many villagers on food compared to gold, specifically in my context, because of the need for elite Janissaries. Elite Janissaries against Ottoman infantry are really good as long as you can disable or destroy the siege equipment. And they do go, is this, let's have a look. So they've got currently 61, no, I've got currently 61 econ and 41 military, okay? Switch to them. They've got 73 econ and 111 military. So they're really doing a lot better, and I'm in a bit of a pickle. For some reason they haven't used their entire military in that advance. Just have a quick look around to see what's happening. I'm not quite sure what's happening, to be honest. They've got this little... check that again. So they're meant to have 113 military units. Obviously siege engines cost 2, so that makes a bit more sense, but still a little bit low on the numbers that I can see. This is obviously clever. It's a very nice place to get lumber from. It's very hard for me to get there. I do a bit of a... there's another little unit kind of cluster around here. They're good, aren't they? They're kind of defending different points that I could attack. I do take out some the spring balls and the mangonel. you know, it's good, but at the same time it's cost me quite a lot. I don't have cavalry. Should probably start using cavalry more. That, I mean, yeah, that hasn't really worked. I'm very much on the back foot. At this point in time, I've obviously, to reinforce that, I've lost the Seagate Castle. There's no way I'm getting that back. At this point in time, I think to win the game it would be a case of, I guess, trying to aggressively push on soft targets. I think maybe I should have gone round here. Oh, sorry. I think an aggressive push this way would have been good, or even a kind of continuous stream. So a small force and then another small force and then another small force. I really need to interrupt their econ somehow. That's annoying. Got a janissary just next to those villages. But otherwise, I'm kind of done, to be honest. They're obviously protecting that gold mine. I've come onto this gold mine in a vain attempt to collect some much needed gold, incredibly much needed at the moment. I do have another gold mine down here, but that's going to get depleted in the not too distant future. And I am starting to use the trade post with trade caravans. I haven't yet upgraded to chemistry, not gunpowder, I always make that mistake, and then elite army tactics, the other one that I always really need, and then the third most important is siege works. In my kind of gameplay, siege works is obviously useful as well. Yeah, at this stage, I'm not sure, to be honest. It might have. I've got a decent amount of stone, so maybe I should have gone for extensive fortifications. And then I'm wondering, I don't know, I think probably I've lost at this point. But I'm wondering if I could have come around here and built a castle down here. So they start moving. Oh, they've just kind of edged closer to my gold spot. And they're starting to trebuchet the tower. So I realise that it's important to flee. As well as to defend any palisade wall, attackers. These two mangonels, they're on the counterweight trebuchets. And at this point, yeah, it's very, very difficult to win. Yeah, okay, really the lesson there then is to not be quite as aggressive, and so, there we are.